Yeah, hello. Thanks for the introduction. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Katrin von Ahsen. I'm a member of the product management team of the cross-architecture area at SAP. And I have the pleasure today to present to you the CIO guide for cloud and hybrid integration architectures. Today, I have with me my teammate, Ralf Ackermann, who will be supporting the Q&A feature. So if you have any questions about the topic on integration and the scope and content of the lecture in detail, so you can all already start typing in, entering your questions into the Q&A function of the chat. And at the end, I will reserve some time for discussing some further questions in more detail. So let me walk you through the presentation, through the lecture from SAP TechEd, which is structured along the following topics. We will start with the integration guides for the intelligent enterprise. Then we will look at the integration methodology which SAP offers, and then take a closer look at two of the integration styles, which are the most popular ones, which is the process and data integration style. Then let's wrap up the session with the key takeaways. Integration guides for the intelligent enterprise. So actually there is a big initiative and investments going on at SAP for improving the integration of SAP applications. And this is done as part of the intelligent enterprise strategy. So there has been a white paper being published by the SAP CIO, Christian Klein, which is intelligent enterprises are integrated enterprises, SAP's integration plan in the cloud, which outlines actually the big picture of the SAP integration strategy. And here SAP is aiming to deliver an end-to-end business process integration to its customers along the end-to-end processes, the lead to cash, the design to operate, source to pay, and the recruit to retire process, which make up to roughly 70% of a customer's value chain. These processes typically span along the SAP applications and also, depending on the customer preference, also may include partner solutions and third-party solutions. For improving and facilitating actually a true new suite experience to deliver an intelligent suite with an integrated experience, SAP has introduced distinct suite qualities, which are technology standards that are consistently applied to the lines of business applications along these end-to-end business processes. For instance, here we have, as of today, 7 suite qualities in scope, which is covering all the integration aspects from a holistic perspective. For instance, the user experience, also the semantical side of the house with the aligned domain models, also to embed and integrate analytical capabilities into the applications and much more. And all this is based on the SAP Business Technology Platform. Moving on to the next slide, we have here an overview of the key SAP integration solution, which is SAP's Enterprise Integration Platform as a service solution. And this is SAP Integration Suite. You might be a bit surprised about the product name. So it's previously known as SAP Cloud Platform Integration Suite, or you might even remember the name SAP Cloud Integration and so on. So there has been recently a rebranding been performed to actually sunset the Cloud Platform brand. And with that, some of the SAP technology products have been renamed. So this solution actually provides integration capabilities to facilitate the integration with SAP applications and also towards third-party solutions. So with the help of open connectors and other types of integration scenarios, for instance, to exchange data with our trading partners using EDI, electronic data interchange formats. And a very strong use case is also to integrate with governments, so compliance scenarios where you need to exchange invoices, goods, receipts, and so on, with local authorities. So here, the solution comprises of the core solutions with cloud integration, data intelligence, API management capabilities, and there's also on-premise software available from SAP, like SAP Process Orchestration and SAP Data Services, which altogether shapes SAP's hybrid integration platform. So here, I've actually slightly updated here the deck from SAP TechEd regarding the integration guides. So in the meantime, we have actually published some new and updated versions of integration guides. So on the left, you see the integration strategy paper, which I explained to you before, the big picture on SAP's integration plan in the cloud. And here, complementing the strategy, we are providing more detailed guides with a stronger focus on the technology, which is the CIO guide, SAP's hybrid integration platform for the intelligent enterprise, and the integration architecture guide for cloud and hybrid landscapes. So here, the one which is relevant for this presentation and is the one on the right. It's a more detailed version, which we have recently updated and restructured and updated the content according to the principles of the SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology. So here we are going deeply into the integration patterns, including recommended SAP integration technologies along that. So the scope of this paper is actually an updated version. So it's continuously updated and also enriched with a focus on the existing product portfolio. So you can apply the technologies which are outlined there in the paper, and is not tailored to specific industry or application use cases. The new content we have introduced with this update, which happened last December, is, for instance, the SAP One Domain model, SAP Master Data Integration, SAP Extension Suite, and also analytical integration scenarios along SAP Analytics Cloud and SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. So with that, we have actually introduced the key technologies of selected suite qualities, like the aligned domain models and embedded and cross-application analytics into this integration guide. So the content map here of the full paper is outlined here on this slide. So here we have, as a leading entity, the SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology, which structures the whole content along integration styles, where we are covering, as of today, with the guide, the process, data analytics, and user integration style. Also, some foundational topics are covered, like aligned domain models, our prepackaged integration content, end-to-end business process blueprints, so all these digital artifacts which you can find and discover at SAP API Business Hub. Furthermore, it's not only about choosing the right technology, so it's also outlining and gives the recommendation regarding setup and operations, referring to integration monitoring solutions and integration automation services. Yeah, so having said that, I would like now to walk you through our integration methodology, which I have briefly already mentioned, which is the SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology, or in short, simply ISAM. So here, this is a methodology which helps you, enterprise, in the role of an enterprise architect, to define and also execute an enterprise integration strategy. So the methodology is available for free and delivers a set of accelerators. For instance, integration styles, patterns, blueprints, integration best practices, and more. It provides vendor agnostic best practices, which you can apply to the integration technologies of your choice, but also recommendations regarding SAP integration technologies. So here, this methodology is not new. It's already for a couple of years available, and therefore already successfully adopted by many large organizations. We have currently a community around this methodology with more than 2,000 registered users. The whole methodology is structured along 4 use cases, as you can see on the right, to assess your integration strategy, design your hybrid integration platform, define integration best practices, and the last use case covers the organizational dimension of enterprise integration. So the approach of the methodology is that it walks you in a guided fashion through a scoping approach, so which allows you to narrow down actually the scope of integration requirements with the helps of integration domains, integration styles and use case patterns. And finally, you can map it to the respective integration technologies. And again, for that, we have a descriptive content available on the use case pattern and the how to perform and guidance about how to perform this integration technology mapping. If you're interested in learning more about the integration solution advisory methodology, we have currently an open SAP course on air. So check it out, the landing page at opensap.sap.com. There you can still enroll to the course and you will be walked through the single use cases of the methodology one by one. Yeah, that's actually an example of the architecture blueprints we are providing as best practices with the ISM framework. So here we have some samples available for common integration patterns. You can simply apply these patterns, these architecture blueprints, and also adapt these to your needs. So these templates are editable and also provide complementing information about how to implement such an architecture blueprint. The foundation of all this strategy is actually the API Business Hub. So where we are delivering actually API Business Hub, the central place where you can discover the APIs and also the prepackaged integration content of SAP Integration Suite. We have recently enhanced the scope of the content-wise of API Business Hub. So here you can now also find end-to-end process blueprints, so a kind of reference architecture for the intelligent enterprise, as you can see on the left, and also the semantical data model of the SAP applications with the aligned domain models, where we have defined the first master data objects and published the respective models along that. For instance, the worker service, the cost center objects, and more. Yeah, having said that, let's take a look at some of the examples of the integration guide, what kind of guidance we are giving along that. So let's start with the integration style for process integration, which is actually the most popular integration style along our customers. So here we have actually provided an overview regarding the different integration options in an SAP context in a hybrid environment, where you have a mix of SAP cloud applications and likely some on-premise applications, but possibly also non-SAP solutions and for instance, business partners and governments authorities to integrate with. And here we have outlined the different integration options. For instance, to leverage SAP process orchestration for on-premise to on-premise scenarios. We have the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite in place for facilitating cloud-to-cloud and hybrid scenarios. And here also the option to go for direct integration options, leveraging here, for instance, the cloud connectors from SAP to establish a secure connection from your on-premise landscape environment towards the cloud. Here you have the numbers on this slide. There is detailed guidance given as part of the integration guide. So what kind of integration technology to choose and what kind of options to consider when implementing process integration scenarios. As outlined, we also provide with the methodology integration best practices. And here we have an example from the process integration domain. Here it's often a question regarding this particular integration patterns, where to implement them, if it's recommended or better to implement these patterns as part of the integration layer, more precisely as part of integration suite or process orchestration, or if this is a pattern which better fits to the application layer, where we have, for instance, SAP S/4HANA as an application and as an integration technology, a part of S/4HANA, the SAP application interface framework. And as you can see, we're giving here some guidance regarding the integration patterns, where to apply these tools to actually have a really consistent integration being implemented. For instance, everything which is nearer to the data in terms of business data validation, value mappings, and so on, it's more recommended to manage it as part of the application layer. Whenever it's always about routing the data to the right receiver determination, and splitting and aggregating of message, then it's actually more recommended to perform these activities as part of the integration layer. A new topic which we have recently added to the integration guide and also to the integration methodology is to give a more detailed guidance regarding master data integration. So here, in context of the intelligent enterprise strategy, we have some news around that with the introduction of the SAP Master Data Integration Service. On the left, you see actually the integration approach for master data, which of the past and which is still in place for many integration scenarios. So it's really a one-to-many integrate or one-to-one integration approach. So replicating the master data across the various applications, which is cumbersome to maintain and can easily lead to inconsistencies. This has been improved with introducing SAP Master Data Governance, which takes care of the master data management aspect, like data cleansing, data deduplication, and more. What we are shifting now towards is to introduce SAP Master Data Integration as a central integration instance for sharing master data across the SAP applications in an intelligent fashion. With that, it's ensured that actually the master data is in sync across the various different applications. If you're interested in more information on the single topics, I've all here added the information about the related TechEd sessions, which are publicly available on at YouTube too. So here, regarding a more detailed guidance on the different master data integration use case options, we have here added a guidance as part of the integration guide. For instance, here for the master data integration scenarios for SAP to SAP scenarios, you can already benefit from leveraging SAP master data integration in an out-of-the-box kind of fashion for selected integration scenarios. So here you can find the latest information at the roadmap, SAP interactive roadmaps on the availability of the aligned domain models. Existing scenarios which you have implemented with SAP Integration Suite for replicating master data can exist. There's no need to migrate these to the new master data integration service. For master data integration in an SAP to a third-party environment, here it's recommended to implement the integration leveraging the integration suite services. SAP Integration Suite can leverage actually implicitly the one domain model and the master data integration for a consistent access of the master data objects. The third aspect is the master data management use case, so which can be used in conjunction with the master data integration scenarios. So here it's all about ensuring high quality of master data, as already mentioned, with deduplications, with master data cleansing, golden record management, and more. And this functionality is provided by SAP Master Data Governance. For the integration piece, you can leverage the master data integration service together also with SAP Master Data Governance. Yeah, moving on to another area where we have actually some guidance in place. It's about API management. So API management is also available as a capability of SAP Integration Suite. So supporting different personas and different use cases like API monetization, API analytics, and so on, and is quite often used along different integration use cases at today's enterprises. And here we have also provided some best practices about what kind of integration patterns are being managed in a better way by the API management layer, and which one actually more by the integration layer, right? And you see here, again, when it comes towards analytics, monetization, and so on, then it's recommended to leverage here the API managed layer, and for the other activities, more the integration layer. You find more detailed explanation on these different integration patterns as part of the integration guide. Yeah, moving on to the next area, it's the data integration style. So here we have updated and detailed out the guidance regarding data integration solutions to choose. Here, the overachieving integration solution from SAP is SAP Data Intelligence, which can actually support different kinds of integration scenarios. So with a focus on data orchestration, data processing, and also data integration. It's designed for really complex integration scenarios, which span across diverse environments. So a mix of cloud and on-premise data sources, of structured and unstructured data. And here you can easily create data pipelines which can span across these diverse landscapes, and ideally be leveraged and support also machine learning scenarios, which is also part of the SAP Data Intelligence solution. So here we have actually not only data intelligence in place, so because of the acquisitions and actually intrinsic built integration technologies, we have a comprehensive portfolio of data integration solutions in place, which you can also leverage together with SAP Data Intelligence, right? So for instance, if you have invested in SAP Data Services, it's possible to connect it to SAP Data Intelligence and leverage both in orchestration together. Furthermore, we have updated and more detailed out the guidance regarding data integration solutions from SAP on the level of the data integration use case patterns. So check it out here, the detailed guidance which we are now making available as part of the integration guide. There's also some guidance being given about the different integration styles to differentiate it from each other. So there's often unclarity about the type of integration technology to choose for an integration requirements, whether it's a process integration scenario or data integration scenario. And here we are giving also some guidance which help you to identify the right integration solution for your needs. In a nutshell, whenever it's about a real-time integration and exchange of business data with an API-based access to the applications, and chaining actually the different applications along business processes, then it's actually more recommended to apply a process integration solution like SAP Integration Suite. However, when you are dealing with data-centric integration scenarios within data-focused access of data sources on the level of tables and views, and more on pipelining and orchestrating data in hybrid landscapes, then it's actually more recommended to look and apply a data integration technology. But both are no islands, as you can see, so these are interoperable, so you can also leverage both in orchestration depending on your business requirements. Yeah, having said that, let's take a look at further topics in the guide. So what we have not covered as part of this session. So we have also enriched the content of the guide with information about event-based integration, which is getting more and more traction, where we are leveraging SAP Enterprise Messaging. Also AI-driven integration, so artificial intelligence-driven integration, where we have the integration advisory capability in place, which is very useful, especially for B2B integration scenarios. And along our integration strategy of the intelligent enterprise, we have added here information and guidance regarding analytics integration and also user integration regarding scenarios of SAP Fiori user experience and or data provisioning service scenarios. Furthermore, we have complemented and enriched guidance regarding integration monitoring solutions. So here we have some new solutions available with SAP Cloud ALM. And here we give guidance about what kind of solution to choose from the SAP portfolio, which is SAP Solution Manager, SAP Focused Run, and SAP Cloud ALM. Yeah, with that, it was actually a quick run through the lecture from SAP TechEd. So let's wrap up quickly the key takeaways. So SAP Integration Suite is actually SAP's hybrid integration platform for the intelligent enterprise, which delivers actually a set of integration capabilities supporting a wide choice of different integration scenarios. We have the SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology in place, which helps you to shape and also to execute an enterprise integration strategy. So it helps you, especially in diverse environments where you have a mix of SAP and non-SAP applications and technologies, and also maybe some legacy applications you need to support moving forward. Then the integration architecture guide for cloud and hybrid landscape. So a comprehensive guide, which has been recently updated, which provides you with the latest related SAP technology recommendations. Yeah, with that outlook, stay tuned for more. So here you can also find the links to the respective building blocks of this lecture in the paper. And if you have some further questions, I've also published a blog at the SAP community where you can actually post your comments and questions to the session too. And now with that, I'm done actually with the presentation, and we can look at the Q&A chat functionality. I think Ralph is also here available and has already supported the question and answers. So it's now your time. If you have some questions, feel free to post these into the chat, and I'm more than happy to answer these as part of this presentation. Okay, we have already the first question here in the chat. What is the relation to the Activate methodology? So this is really a great question. I think you're referring to ISAM, the integration methodology, and the Activate methodology. So actually the SAP Activate methodology is the SAP implementation methodology and is available for several SAP solutions. For instance, there's one for S/4HANA available for S/4HANA Cloud. We have it also available for the end-to-end processes like the hire to retire process of the intelligent enterprise, and also for some SAP technologies. As part of Activate, there's also a work stream available and activities around integration, which also include a link to the ISAM methodology. As part of the current Open SAP course about the SAP integration solution advisory methodology, there's also some units available which outline actually the touch points between the SAP Activate and the ISAM methodology. Okay. Any further questions from the audience?
I think Ralph may have a few that he wishes to tell you. Ralph, you may.
Yeah, there was one that Tran raised in the chat actually.
Okay.
And it's related to master data integration and its usage. I already answered that master data integration can be used via SAP Integration Suite. And there she asked, do I have to update what I had as for SAP Cloud Platform Integration in 2018? Would you take that one? This one is still open. I answered the one on, yes, great. You do not have to interact with S4HANA, for instance, but can, of course, also interact with other systems like SuccessFactors or Concur or whatever.
So there's another question about the new advanced consolidation finance closing is part of the integration platform. So actually Integration Suite provides integration capabilities, right? Like API management, cloud integration, open connectors, and so on. So the Integration Suite as such has more technical focus, and it's not part of the Integration Suite of as such. However, advanced consolidation finance closing, I'm not actually the application guy. I would assume that's a functionality of S4HANA or similar. And here we provide pre-packaged integration content to support application-specific integration scenarios at SAP API Business Hub, right? So here you may check out, for instance, the API Business Hub and look if there's some predefined integration content available. And there's also along the SAP product documentation information available about how to integrate the respective SAP applications. Okay, any further questions? No open questions in the Q&A. Anything on your side, Ralph?
As I said, as for one question from the chat, is there a need to upgrade SAP Integration Suite? That being a cloud software, I would assume, well, this is you benefit from the most recent functionality there as you use it as a cloud system.
So I'm not sure what the background of the question is. However, we have recently released some guidance, so recommended for SAP process orchestration customers. So maybe you're referring to that if there's a need to upgrade or to migrate to SAP Integration Suite. So here we have published some guidance along that, which actually recommends customers to gradually move the integrations from SAP process integration and process orchestration towards SAP Integration Suite, right? So there is a blog available and more details also available with the integration guide, which outlines here the recommended steps moving forward. Okay. Any further questions?
I put some links also in the Q&A session. So, for instance, with regard to where can I find the documents, or also giving the link to the current Open SAP course that Katrin talked about.
Okay, great.
Oh, lovely, thank you very much. Katrin, if you could advance to the last slide, that would be great.
Sure, will do.
Thank you for all our attendees. Oops, one back. It's gone a little bit further. That's it. Well, thank you for all of you guys for attending today. I would like to extend your thanks to our presenter, Katrin, and Ralph for assisting her today. Thank you so much. As I said, this video has been recorded and will be available on the SAP Community YouTube channel. We will also make sure that the link or the tags for the links where you can ask questions beyond the recording will be there as well. But thank you all for attending today. It's been our pleasure to host you. And please have a great day wherever you are and keep safe. Thank you very much, everybody.